Imagine you engage to payday in 100 days. That means you should have somewhere between 10 to 40 new persons into your team. Hello there, this is Sam Mozan, the Bootstrap Entrepreneur. I'm so excited to be here with you today. There's something that is sweeping through the network marketing profession right now. There are a lot of things that people do to grow their business, and this particular phenomenon, we refer to it as the TwoPayday phenomenon. This is something that has been championed by Eric Worre, but it gained popularity through Brian Caruthers. Brian Caruthers, for those of you who do not know him, is considered an enigma. Is someone that has achieved a lot of results in network marketing. In fact, I think he's been in network marketing for about 22 years, and he has made cumulatively, has earned over $25 million. I think he's someone that if he speaks, people should listen. So he keeps talking about this TwoPayday, and I decided to study the TwoPayday phenomenon deeper. And what I discovered, I was startled. Brian Caruthers mentioned that the TwoPayday is what anyone could do. Everybody, whether you are full-time, whether you are part-time, whether you are spare time, everyone can do TwoPayday. And I started doing deeper research on TwoPayday. And I had to speak to some of my team members. I just threw a post out to them. I asked them, in the last 97 to 100 days, how many people did you personally recruit into the business? I realized that most of them sponsored somewhere between 1 to 3, 4. It was just a few persons that sponsored about 5 or 6. No one sponsored up to 12 or 15. I discovered that for the greater percentage of those that I asked the question, over 70% sponsored just about 1, 2, just about 1. So I would say that the average, hung around 2.5, 3 in 100 days. So this is the reason why some people don't make money in network marketing, because they don't have consistency. Now, the TwoPayday phenomenon is a simple system that makes sure that you show the business to at least 2 persons every day. So the TwoPayday says every day you must expose your business opportunity to 2 new persons. Now, let's say in 100 days, you are able to expose your business to at least 2 persons. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If you multiply 100 by 2, that is, you've shown the business to about 200 persons. If we use 5% result, let's say you did that and you got 5% result, we would say that maybe you recruited about 10 persons in 100 days. But 5% result for an average person who has skill and who is doing well in network marketing, that is too small. Let me not say too small, but that is not up to par. It's not an average result. It's actually a below average result in our profession, especially if you are skilled. For an average person, for every 10 person you speak to, maybe 1 person will join your business. So if we use 10%, that would mean that in 100 days, you would have recruited or sponsored about 20 persons into your business, into your team. But the industrial standard or the professional standard is actually 20%. For every 10 persons who will say yes, that's about that's like a standard. So for those of us that we're running the business full time and we're skilled in the business, one would expect that for every 10%, 2 people will say yes. So if we use that as a yardstick, it means that in 100 days of showing 2 persons your business opportunity, you would have shown 200, and in 100 days, if you use 20%, that means 40 persons would have joined your business. And TwoPayday is what anyone can do. If you have a team and you feel your team members or your partners are not running the business effectively, or we have people that will come and in 1 week or in 12 days or in 2 weeks, they would run a lot of activities and then they go back again. It keeps oscillating up and down. Someone will come, pump the business, run the business aggressively for like 10 days and then goes to sleep for like next 3 months. That way, you will not have lasting results. It's all about continuity, okay? I'm sure some of you have read that book by Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect. The compound effect says that you keep doing something, no matter how little, but you keep doing it over a long period of time, over an extended period of time, you have a lot of results. So the 2-payday phenomenon, imagine you engage 2-payday in 100 days. That means you should have somewhere between 10 to 40 new persons into your team. You are listening to this video, would you be willing to take on 2-payday and make sure your team members start running this 2-payday activity? Would you do that? If you would do that, just type I will, quickly, type I will. All right. Now for me, I discovered that the 2-payday works. However, some people have not been able to receive a lot of results. Their results have not been so good. Why? Because they just do the 2-payday. Now, let me show you how the 2-payday can work for you. The 2-payday has to go with third-party call. There's something we call third-party call. When you show someone the opportunity, but let me start from the basics. Let's say you're a brand new person and you want to succeed in network marketing and you've just heard about this phenomenon called the 2-payday phenomenon. What is expected of you? Very simple. It's better you use a tool. It could be a brochure, it could be a video, it could be a one-on-one, maybe presentation. I prefer tools that I can send to anyone and the person will, regardless of the person's location, they can access it, use it, and it's possible for them to also transmit it to other people. So I prefer videos, YouTube videos, particularly. Now, let's say you have a short video about 15 to 20, 25 minutes, where a summary of your business presentation have been captured, and you use this video to show people the business. All you need to do is you make a list, let's say about 150 or 200. And once you have a list of 150 to 200 people, but we're looking at in 100 days, so that means you already have a contact. Just look at the contact and identify 2 persons you show the business every day for 100 days. Now, these 2 persons, what you need to do is to show them the video. But someone will ask, should I just send them the video, or is there like an intro? Is there like something I would need to say, like an opener, so that I'll be able to show them the business? It's a very simple thing you can also do, because we have like an opening mark or opening thing you can say to break an ice, especially if you've not been in communication with such people. Okay, I'm just going to read something from my phone. This is how I do it. I think I got this from a recorder, and it's something I'm willing to share with everybody. Just go through your phone, identify someone you want to show the business today, and quickly send the person this as a text message. You don't need to send it as WhatsApp or other platforms. Send as a text message, because text messages, people read their text messages even much more than they answer their phones. So if I send this, I'm just going to type and send. Let's say the person's name is Nancy. Hello, Nancy. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing great. Fine. I'm just curious if there was a way you could start working a business with your spare time from home to create an extra source of income that could eventually replace your current full-time income. Would you be willing to take a look? It's a simple question. Once I send this message, Nancy is going to say yes or no. Most likely, she's going to say yes, because I'm asking, would you be willing to take a look? I'm not asking, will you join me? I'm not asking, are you going to sell? It's a simple question. And Nancy's most likely going to say, sure, I'm willing to take a look. Once that happens, that video you have, you forward it to Nancy. But before you do that, ask Nancy, if I sent this video to you now, how soon will you take a look at it? I have an information that will break down everything. If I sent you the video that will explain it, how soon will you take a look at it? Nancy will say, maybe in the next 1 hour, next 2 hours. Whatever they say does not matter. All you need to do is get the time and then add about 30 minutes to it. I have a video here, and the video is 20 minutes. So once I've sent this to a prospect, let's say Nancy, and I ask Nancy, so in order not to waste your time, I have a summary, a short video that will explain everything I have in mind so that you can understand what I'm saying. If I sent you the video now, how soon will you take a look at it? And he says, in the next 2 hours. I said, awesome. What if I called in the next 2 hours, 30 minutes? Let's say 2 hours is 10 p.m. And I say, what if I called by 10:30 p.m.? Would you have seen it for sure? Nancy says, 10:30 p.m. Oh, of course, I would have seen it. All right, 10:30, I'll give you a call. And I will forward the link to Nancy. Nancy is going to go through the video. And by 10:30, usually I would use my phone and set an alarm. Before now, I would tell people, write it in a diary and all of that, but you could do whatever works for you. But what works for me is that I set an alarm, because that means I will remember it once the alarm rings, and I will set the alarm like 5 minutes to the time. So 5 minutes to the time, I'm ready to call Nancy, and 10:30 on the nose, I'll call Nancy. I say, hey, how you doing? This was amazing, right? So Nancy say, yeah. Now, this is where people get it wrong. Some people will quickly go in and start asking Nancy, so, what did you like about the video and all of that? No, don't even ask people what they liked about the video, or what do you think? That is even the worst. What do you think? Don't ask people what do you think. That will activate the logical part of their brain, and they want to prove to you that they are very, very logical people, and they will start bringing out all the negative things just to sound smart. Ask people, what did you love best, or what did you like best? And they will say, I love this, I love that, this was good. All right. You immediately connect Nancy to a third party. That is the second one. The first is to send the video. The second part is to make sure you connect them to a third party, because the third party is going to bring credibility. You know Nancy. Maybe Nancy trusts you but does not respect you. But when a third party is in the equation, Nancy does not trust the third party, but Nancy respects the third party. So let's say you have an accountability partner, not necessarily your upline or someone who is your leader in your team. It could be an accountability partner, someone at your level. So you tell Nancy, I have somebody in my team. This person is very excited to speak with you. He's someone that's achieved a lot of results, and he's excited about helping more people achieve results. He loves to help people. So I've spoken with him about you, and he's willing to take your questions. And guess what? You put the third party person on a call, in a conference call, and on that phone, you keep quiet. Now the third party person is going to now ask some questions and take it from there to either get Nancy to register into the business immediately, or refer Nancy to another exposure. The whole idea is to take them from exposure to exposure to exposure until they join your business. So let's say this person gets to Nancy, and after speaking with Nancy, and Nancy says, I have a question and all of that, and he now says, Nancy, there's another video that is going to explain everything to you. So I'm going to refer you to the video. All right. And once that happens, you take Nancy from one exposure to another exposure until she comes on board. Now, the third thing that helps the TwoPayday phenomenon is events. Let's say Nancy, for some reason, did not join your business immediately, and did also not join after looking at the second exposure, the third exposure. Find a way to bring Nancy to maybe an online or offline meeting. It could be on Zoom online, or it could be a physical meeting. I prefer physical meetings. Now, this is going to concretize what you've done with Nancy, because Nancy is going to see that there are other people too doing the business. Nancy is also going to see that it's a real business that has produced results. After seeing the first video, Nancy has also spoken to an accountability partner. That's the second exposure. Nancy has seen maybe a second video or a third video, and then Nancy comes to an event. It could be a big event, it could be a small event. It's just the fact that there's official face-to-face meeting. All right, Nancy sees this and says, oh, okay, so other people are doing this. If you do that, when you expose your business to someone and you move the person from exposure to exposure up to 6 times, the person is likely to say yes to the business. In fact, most people after the first exposure never go back to the person. They don't go back. And once they don't go back, it's like cooking a delicious meal and leaving it on the table. Another person walks in, shows the person the business, and maybe just exposes the person to a second opportunity, or moves the person to another exposure, and the person says yes. Usually you are like maybe 2 or 3 exposures away from a yes. Would you be disciplined enough to start with a prospect and make sure you move the person from exposure to exposure, no matter how long it's going to take? People have joined my business after 5 years. I just kept exposing the business to them. So if you're doing the TwoPayday phenomenon, you're not in a hurry. You have 2 persons you show the business every day. The Bible says that if the cloud be full, it shall empty its content. When you keep doing TwoPayday, something is happening. You're building momentum. And before you know it, you have a lot of people that are saying yes. Now, this business is about seed, time, and harvest. If you plant sparingly, you're going to harvest sparingly. If you plant in the month of May, you're going to harvest, let's say, in 6 months' time. If you plant in June, you could harvest maybe in December. But what if you plant every day? Your 2Payday is you planting every day. That means in a very short time, you will start harvesting every day. Your harvest comes in every day. So you cannot differentiate again. You don't have an upscale, downscale. Your business is not oscillating, going up and down. You're always producing results. This business is about producing results. And the Bible says again that I am the vine, you are the branches, and my Father is the vine dresser. And then the branch that does not bear fruit, he cuts away and puts in the fire. And the branch that bears fruit, he prunes so that it can bear even more fruit. In any business, not just network marketing, those that bear fruits are pruned so they can bear even more fruits. All right? So ask yourself, do you bear fruit? Are you productive? Your 2Payday is something that if you look at it and you apply it, it's going to help you. So I'm all for discovering things, small things, little things that can bring in a lot of results. I'm a student of 2Payday. I teach my people to do 2Payday. I'm also running 2Payday. Some people will say, I love massive activities. I want to just gather thousands of people, and then that's okay. People in my team still run big events. But I tell them, after the big event, make sure that there's no day that passes by without you connecting at least 2 persons. That's what I say. All right? And that is what I believe in. So go back to your team and look into this and see if it's going to work for you. It has worked for me. It's working for my team. And I believe it can work for everybody else. All right? So remember, the 2Payday phenomenon, the 3-way call, the conference call, and then events to events. And you're going to have massive results. And guess what? Anyone can do 2Payday. You can do it regardless of your location. All you need to do is pick the the prospect, send a short message, and then pick their interest. They say yes to it. And guess what? Send them the video. But before you do that, of course, make sure that they're going to watch it. Ask them when they will watch it. Send it to them. And once they've seen the video, get a third-party person to follow up on them and then take them to the next event, And before you know it, your business has exploded. So, thank you for being here up to this moment. I'm sure you got some value. If you've got some value from this, if you've gotten enough value from this, why don't you consider subscribing so that more people can also see this video and their businesses will skyrocket to the heavens. Thank you, and this is Bootstrap Entrepreneur, Sam Ozani, saying bye. Take care.